So hello everyone, welcome back. Let us start problem number 30, which says that check the results of example 5 and 6 and problem number 11 are consistent with equation number 33. So the equation number 33 is this one. Yes, it is E above this one. E above minus E below is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught in direction n cap direction. Alright, so we need to check the results of example 5 and 6 and problem 11 that they are consistent or not. So let me quickly take out example number 5. So example number 5 is an infinite plane carries a uniform charged surface charge sigma, find its electric field. All right, so first of all, problem number 30, page number, let me see the page number 91. All right, so we need to calculate the electric field at an infinite plane. So suppose this is a plane, and if we need to calculate the electric field on infinite plane, we need to consider a small pillow box, Gaussian pillow box. So let us consider a small pillow box which has area as A, and it is very small. Okay, so it is on the surface, and similarly a small box is downward. All right, it has area, and downward the pillow box downward of it also has area A. All right, so electric field at an infinite plane. So apply Gauss law. Gauss law states that E dot ds is equal to q epsilon naught, q enclosed upon epsilon naught. All right, so E, magnitude of E, and what is ds here? Ds is the total area of pillow box, which is 2a, because a plus a, total area of pillow box, and q enclosed in terms of sigma, surface charge, is sigma into a upon epsilon naught in the direction of n cap. All right, so we get E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught for, this is the electric field for the pillow box above. All right, E above, and similarly for electric field for below will be E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. All right, but the direction will be negative. All right, the direction will be negative for below. I hope you got the concept here. So from equation number 33 we need to prove that it is consistent here. So equation 33 was that E above minus E below is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught in the direction of n. So from equation 1 and 2 we can easily see that this E above is sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. It is minus plus sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, which gives sigma upon epsilon naught in the direction of n cap, which proves example number 5 is consistent with equation number 33. Now let us talk about example number 6. Now let us check the consistency of example number 6 with equation number 33. So the problem says that two infinite parallel planes carry equivalent opposite uniform charged density plus and minus sigma. Find the electric field in each of three regions, to the left, between them, and to the right. All right, let us talk about, let me just focus. Yes, so problem number 30 and example 6 consistency. All right, we have two parallel planes. Planes, yes, it carries plus sigma and it carries minus sigma. We need to calculate electric field in these three regions and check their consistency with the equation number 33, that is sigma upon epsilon naught. All right, so we just saw in previous video that we have E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught in the direction of n cap. It means away from the plane. If we have a infinite plane, and we need to calculate the electric field. So For in region number 1, let us talk about region 1. So in region number 1, we have this region, we have 4 plus sigma. We see that electric field will be away from that plane, all right, for plus, and for minus we get in the towards the plane, all right. That is why they cancel each other, and the net electric field here will be 0 in region 1. Similarly in region 2 which is between them, so here plus sigma, so the electric field will be away, and in this, for this parallel plate, we have minus sign, so as minus sign is there, so that is why the electric field will be in this direction only, towards that plane, all right. So they will sum up. For individual we have sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. Similarly for this one, sigma upon 2 epsilon, we get sigma upon epsilon naught, all right. So in similarly in region number 3, we have to the right, so it is negative, all right. So as it is negative, so it will be towards the, and similarly for that positive one, it will be away from the plane, all right. So they will also cancel each other, and the net electric field will be here, or will be also 0, all right. So the total electric field in two infinite parallel plates are kept, and they carry opposite uniform charge densities, so we get total electric field as sigma upon epsilon naught in n cap direction, so which satisfy equation number 33 given in the Griffiths book, all right. So we have proved the example number 6 as it is consistent with problem number 33. Now let us go with the problem number 11, all right. So problem number 11 is, use Gauss law to find electric field inside and outside of spherical shell of radius r that carries uniform charge density sigma. All right. So we need to calculate the electric field inside and outside the spherical. We have calculated it. Let me just write its results quickly. So for a spherical shell, it is a spherical shell of radius r, and we calculated electric field inside the spherical shell was 0 if it has surface charge and shear sigma, and outside the spherical shell we have sigma upon epsilon naught r square upon r square, all right. So we need to calculate the electric field at the surface. So at surface, why at surface? Because we, for equation number 33 is given as above minus E below is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, all right. So we are taking above as just above, means just above the surface, or just above the surface. So E just above will be sigma upon epsilon naught, r square will be cancelled, and we get sigma upon epsilon naught n cap in the direction, and E below the surface will be 0. So we get E just above, let me just focus, yes, E just above minus below as sigma upon epsilon naught n cap. So it is also consistent with problem number 33. I hope you understood it. Now let us continue with the next part. So now let us talk about problem number 30b part. Use Gauss law to find the field inside and outside a long hollow cylinder which carries uniform charge surface charge as sigma, and we need to check the consistency with equation number 33. So let us suppose it is B part, all right. Problem number 30. So we have a cylindrical tube of radius r, suppose, and we need to, and it has uniform surface charge, all right. So we need to calculate the electric field inside and E outside, all right. I hope you can see, yes. So E out inside will be 0 automatically because surface charge is given, no charges inside the surface. So let us focus on outside the surface. electric field outside the surface. Let us suppose a Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. So E outside will be, use Gauss law, uh, for E outside. All right, for E outside, we from Gauss law we know that E dot ds is equal to Q enclosed upon epsilon naught. All right, so E into, and we have a Gaussian surface of radius s. All right, E dot ds 2 pi s into L, 2 pi r into h. All right, the surface area of cylinder, into sigma upon epsilon naught, sigma into a, which is 2 pi r into L. So we get E is equal to 2 pi cancel, L cancel, sigma r upon in epsilon naught into s. So this is the electric field outside, and let us just calculate the electric field just above. Will be, we get sigma upon epsilon naught in the direction of n cap. All right, so for consistency, let me just focus. For consistency, we let me just write the E above minus E below as delta. All right, so we get sigma upon epsilon naught, because the inside will be 0, which that is below, and above will be sigma upon epsilon naught, which proves that it is consistent with problem number equation number 33. All right, that is its answer. Now let us go with the part number C. So the C part is, check the result of example 8 is consistent with boundary condition 34 and 36. So boundary condition 34 is V above is equal to V below, and 36 V above upon delta V above upon delta n, del V above upon del n minus partial derivative of V below upon partial derivative of n is equal to minus sigma upon epsilon naught. All right, so example 8 is this: the potential of uniformly charged spherical shell of radius r, and we got the answer as r square sigma upon epsilon naught z as outside, and r sigma upon epsilon naught as inside. Let me just quickly write it. So we get problem number 30 part C. So we got Vz as for outside, r square sigma upon epsilon naught z, and Vz as for inside as r sigma upon z. Oh, r sigma upon epsilon naught, sorry. Okay, so we need to calculate V above, just above. So r square sigma upon epsilon naught, and for just above z will become as r as the radius. So we get r sigma upon epsilon naught for V above, and for V below we get we got r sigma upon epsilon naught. Okay, so from 1 and 2, let me just shift, yes, sorry, for 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 we can see that V above is equal to V below. So equation number 34 is satisfied here. Now let us talk about equation number 36, that was del V del n minus above, all right, minus del V upon del n below is equal to minus sigma upon epsilon naught. So let me just quickly derivate it. So V above was r square sigma upon epsilon naught z. All right, so if we take the derivative from just above, all right, we get del V by del r as r square, putting r instead of z. All right, we get r square as minus, all right, sorry, capital R, because it is just above. All right, we get minus sigma upon epsilon naught here for just above. I hope you can see it. Let me just focus. Yes, just above it is. All right, and for just below, del V upon del R, for just below we get as 0. All right, for just below. So you can put the question why it is 0. It is 0 because it was just above at surface. All right, so if I derivate it with respect to small r, here r is constant. You must remember here r is constant. So if we derivate it with respect to r, that is variable radius, and all here is constant, that is why it will become 0. But in this case, when we derivated this term, putting z as r and then replacing r by r, we get because we have to calculate the potential derivative potential at the surface. So that is why we put r as r here, but we cannot put r as r here because r is constant here. All right, so equation number 36 is satisfied from 3 and 4. Why? Because on subtracting just above minus just below, we get minus sigma upon epsilon naught, which was the consistency with equation number 36. All right, so hope you got the concept of this question, that E above and E for parallel, we have E above is equal to E up below, and V above is equal to V below. And for perpendicular, we have E above minus E below is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught. And for if we are talking about potential, we have del V above minus del V below is equal to minus sigma upon epsilon naught, which are equation number 33, 34, and 36. Thank you.